I'm a fellow who likes to work. Some people enjoy tennis. I enjoy work. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy being the guy everybody looks to. I like the responsibility of having thousands of people working for me. In our world of money, money management is the sexiest job there is. If I'm called a freebooter, a pirate, a robber baron, I take it as a compliment. Absolutely. Who developed America? Was it the regulators, the SEC, or was it the melons, the Rockefeller? I mean, tell me what they did bad. Rockefeller shot down some workers in the copper fields. Some say he exploited them. Absolutely. And who benefited? There's still Standard Oil, isn't there? Mellon's Bank is still around. Listen, how many charities were started by these people? How many national parks were preserved by these robber barons? These were the giants who built the cities, who built our country. Unless you have losers, you cannot have winners.
Excuse me, Mr. Winchett. You asked me to remind you that you have an overseas call coming in about 5 minutes.
Look, I'm going to have to cut this short. Everybody works long hours these days. I believe kids work harder today than ever before. Kid wants to make it, he's got to be willing to work long hours. Then he's got to go to school nights, learn federal policy. See, you got to know how to outsmart the regulators to make a profit. It's easy. Christ, if you can outsmart one little government staff, you shouldn't come to work in the morning. I should be a teacher, you know. I always wanted to teach, but they don't want a businessman. They only want people in the academic world with a formalized and I think empty training. That's what I like to do when I get tired of all this. Get involved with young people. Pass along my knowledge, my expertise, my values. My name is Charlotte. I'll be 20 in 3 weeks. I was recommended for this job as a copy boy in a Chicago paper. I went down to the paper to talk to the editor. Told him how much I wanted to be a journalist. He liked me. I had time. Coming to work for me was kind of a missionary kind of thing. I was bringing organic walnuts and organic raisins and giving them away to everybody. See, at this stage of the game, I was in a very spiritual mood. I was enjoying my job because I was answering the phone most of the time. People would call up and complain or have a problem, and I would say, this is a capitalist newspaper. And as long as it's a capitalist newspaper, it's not going to serve you, because its purpose is to make money for its owner. Then I'd tell them to call up the editor, or come down and take over the paper. A lot of people responded very well to these suggestions. So the editor called me into his office one day, and he says, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to bash him in the head with a baseball bat. I mean, he's a really nice guy. I like him a lot. I don't know if I would get any pleasure from shooting him up with a 50 caliber machine gun and seeing his body splattered to pieces. My fantasies all spring at the paper were getting a machine gun and shooting them, or getting a gun and walking to the editor's office and saying, okay, how do you face your death? I was thinking for months, what would I do when I get fired? I wanted to do something to show them, hey, I'm better than you bastards. I'm getting fired because I'm different. I was thinking, how could I show them? Smoke a joint in the city room? Meditate in a library? Kidnap the editor? Shoot him? I had to think fast. So I looked at the editor and I said, I hope you can live with the conditions you're creating. And then I turned around, walked out, and started to cry. The editor stopped me and said, wait a minute. I'm not the one creating these conditions. You are. I said, no. I'm not the one who has the power. You're the one who has the power. Now I've got myself on unemployment. They were nice to me the first few times. Then a lady told me to get a number. I wanted to tell her, screw you. I can wait outside your apartment, bash you over the head, and steal your money. But that's bitterness. I don't like being bitter. I'm a pacifist.